Today is May 24th, and here's the next update on our second floor. I haven't had as much time to work on this as I would like, so I don't have a lot to show in this video, but a few things. First off, carpet is in. There it is in the big bedroom and the office. So for the first time, I'm going to take some time and show some video in this room. I know in the early videos of this renovation, all I did was just show slideshows of the work in here, but I got a few things done that I want to show. First off, the floor is in the closet. This flooring is actually the flooring that used to be in the location where my daughter's bedroom is now. It was the only floor on this second level that was worth saving. So we pulled it up, managed to save most of it. It wasn't in great condition, but it was in good enough condition that it was worth saving and using somewhere. So instead of putting it in a room, we just put it in closets. I think I'm going to have enough to do all of the closets. The next thing, which I know I don't have any prior video of, is that the base trim is done, including this larger box in the back that you can see, which goes around this whole wall and then into the heat register there. That hides the piping for the heat. I would have liked to have been able to hide those pipes either down into the floor or into the walls, but there was some concern. The plumber was concerned that if I put it into the walls, it was potentially going to freeze if we were ever gone and didn't turn the heat on up here. And because of the way the floor structure is built, putting it through the floor was just not realistic. So this was the best option. It was really the only option. So we put the piping in the room on the finished side of the sheetrock, and then I had to build this box to hide it. So I'm pretty happy with how it came out, considering I really didn't have any options, and I was kind of afraid at the time that the box was going to be so huge that it would be just ugly to look at, but it's not too bad. So there's a shot of what the normal 4-inch trim on the left there looks like when it meets up with the bigger trim. So that's what that looks like now. And then the big update for this room is that this white bureau you're looking at here is actually the bureau that is going to go into that closet. But before I did that, I wanted to show what it looks like and how it was built. So almost the entire thing is built out of 1-inch pine. The outside here are two 1-inch by 12-inch pieces that run the full height. Same thing on the other side. And then inside of it, I'm going to take this drawer out, if I can do it with one hand. So inside of it, we basically build a small box at every level. Get that fit in place, and then that gives something for these drawer pulls to rest on so that they're really well supported. I'm not really ever worried about weight in these things, but just in case, it's a good way to keep this thing really sturdy and support the drawers. So, and then also that front piece ends up being the part that's somewhat revealed in between the drawers. So that kind of just looks nice, paint that, and it all looks pretty good. So like I said, almost all of it is 1-inch pine. The only pieces that aren't, if I go back to this drawer, is that the base is 1/4-inch plywood, and I use the same plywood on the front, just painted. So the one thing to note here is if you get the good high quality plywood, in some cases it's maple, in other cases it's birch, I'm pretty sure this piece is birch, then you can actually router the edges, which is what I did here to give it a little bit of just a nicer look. It's not hard edges that potentially could splinter later on. If you get the cheaper stuff, the pine stuff, you might get away with it, but it usually ends up splintering when you try to run a router over it. So I got the good stuff, paid a little bit more for it, but it's just a nice way to kind of make the thing look professional pretty easily. So the only thing left to do on this is I just have to put in the handles on the front of the drawers and then go over it one more time to touch up the paint, and then this thing's ready. So like I said, that's going to go into this closet. You can see I already put in the first few strips of flooring. I had to do that so that when the carpet guy came in, he had something to tuck his carpet underneath. And then also I'd already measured the depth of the bureau, so that space in the back there is where the bureau will sit. The reason it's not in already is because I know there was no video of this closet before, and it's a closet, it's nothing exciting to look at, but I actually had it all done and ready to go, and then I took some time and thought about what we're trying to do in the future, which one of the projects that we'll be doing is I want to put solar hot water on the roof of the building, and we have a great southern facing roof to do it on. It really is ideal. And I got a quote, and the gentleman told me it would be a really easy installation if we had a chaseway from the roof line all the way to the basement, and since I'm doing construction, I wanted to find a way to do it. So I came up with that if I tore this wall down and moved it over a little bit, there was enough space behind that wall. Behind this wall is the metal chimney, but there's enough space between the wall and the metal chimney for me to build a box and put my chaseway in all the way down. So that's what I did. I tore the wall back down again, built the box, put it in place, moved this wall over about 2 inches, and built this new wall back over it. So, and it really didn't matter to lose those 2 inches of closet space because the bureau has to sit far enough in between the door of the closet so that the drawers can pull in and out. So I didn't actually lose much for real usable space. A little bit where that hanging rail up above will go. But anyway, so behind that wall is a 4-inch by 8-inch chaseway, and then it's easy to access from up above, and when it comes time to renovate the first floor, I will build the same thing, match up to it, continue it all the way down to the basement, and then when the day comes for solar, we're ready to go. Alright, last thing I want to show, if I head over to the office, again there's the carpet. So here is what a finished product looks like on these closets. So this one is in and done. I just have to touch up some paint and then I can start using it. This one was just a little bit different because it had these heat pipes that run through it, so I had to build this side panel a little bit differently, and then I still have to build a box just to go over those pipes so that if any kids ever try to climb on it, they're not bending the pipes. But this is what it looks like. You can see the drawers pull out in through the doorway a little bit. There's plenty of space for them to go through without hitting anything. I could have made the drawers 16-inch pulls and then they would not have hit the door, which means you wouldn't have had to have the door swung open all the way, but it's a lot more space in the drawers this way. And I'll just point out that the trim is done in this room as well. I had to do the same box method along this wall to hide the pipe. I did take a couple of pictures of what that looked like before I put the box over it. I had to put in some wooden cleats and then fix the box to those so it is really sturdy. And then base trim all the way around this room. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.